Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics. In this video I want to talk about pistol braces and what you're not doing about it. So the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms recently put out information on seeking guidance or proposed legislation in the further restriction or redefining how they classify the pistol brace. You can find this online, just Google it. The video is not really about that, although just for those of you who maybe not be aware, what they're trying to say is people are doing things with pistol braces that they don't believe that they should be allowed to do because of the arbitrary barrel length restriction that the National Firearms Act places upon the heads of us all. Namely, well, shouldering, we went through that, but now they're looking at it from, I don't want to use the term common sense, but a more factual basis of the fact that if there's certain things on a pistol braced rifle, you couldn't theoretically shoot it one-handed, such as magnified optics with eye relief that are rifle and not pistol related, or if you throw a 50-round, 60-round drum in it, or if you have a 12-inch barrel, or if you have any number of other accessories would add an undue amount of weight to make using the pistol brace as designed impossible. So they're basically saying, we know what you guys are doing. You guys are using this to get around the SBR requirements for short-barreled rifles. Now, I don't believe in the NFA at all. I think we should repeal the entire thing. However, it is the law as it stands, and while we continually to push through organizations like the NRA, ILA, and Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners America, and some other organizations continue to push and file lawsuits, the NFA is with us for the foreseeable future, and every now and then we get a little bit of hope, like, I don't know, the Hearing Protection Act that we recently had, and a lot of people who said, oh, I'm not going to buy a suppressor, I'll wait till that passes. Well, it didn't. Not going to. We're not going to see that anytime soon. Bump stocks were banned. A lot of people didn't really speak up because they didn't own a bump stock, because bump stocks are stupid and all this other nonsense. Now we have a pistol brace, and the ATF's proposed regulation and guidance is open to comment. You can go on there and tell them how you feel. And as long as you don't use profanity and you don't copy and paste somebody else's comment, they're going to get it. This video is about the people who say that they're not going to do that. Now, these are people who feel that either it's not going to have an effect, which I can appreciate, or they feel like the ATF is going to somehow now have their private information. They comment from on Facebook or on Instagram, both owned by Facebook, that shares information with the government. Yeah, the government, if it wanted your information, the information it didn't already have, it would have it. Commenting on this proposed legislation and change of regulations is not going to somehow put you on some kind of draconian list. It's not like you have to put in the comment section the serial numbers of the guns you have pistol braces on. It's called being part of the gun community and doing your civic duty as American and protesting peacefully through civil discourse what you disagree with. These might be the same people who have fantasies about revolution but can't be bothered to comment, take 5 minutes out of their time and comment about what's going on. So I guess they sit back smugly and drink gunslinger whiskey out of their Don't Tread on Me shot glass, but can't be bothered to get involved in the process unless there's this quote-unquote revolution. And in the comments section, I put something up on it, Instagram recently. There's quite a few people in there talking about, oh, is it time? Is it time to fight back? And I'm like, can we not skip straight to the violence part? I mean, that's just me. I would like to maybe exhaust all possible avenues of correction to the way the ship has gone as far as allowing the ATF to just do whatever they want before we get into the DTOM fantasy land that some people seem to live in. Now, I certainly can't speak to your personal readiness for this quote-unquote active measure resistance against the government. However, I can tell you that it's much easier on us as a country, and especially us as a Second Amendment community, to go with the steps and do what we're supposed to do so we can avoid that possibility. Because it's not an eventuality, it's a possibility. But continuing to not get involved when the government attempts to encroach upon our rights takes it closer from the possibility category to the eventuality category. I've never lived through I've never lived in a country that went from a possibility to an eventuality, and I'd like not to. And I'd like for every gun owner to do their part if they feel like they can be bothered to, take 5 minutes out of their day. And this is a small issue. but it's not at the same time, because it allows the ATF to further define what we can and can't do with their own personally owned firearms. And I understand the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. I am 100% wholeheartedly right there with you. I believe the NFA in its entirety is complete nonsense. However, just saying that over and over and over again doesn't change the fact that there are laws on the books in which you can be incarcerated if you violate. And there's an entire government organization known as the ATF that's there to help you out if you get confused over what your barrel length is supposed to be, or if you can or can't do this with this accessory, or this modification, or this pistol brace, or this barrel length, or this forward grip, or what have you. So just repeating the Second Amendment isn't doing us any good. So you can share all the Wild Bill Hickok memes you want, and whatever nom de guerre popular character is being used right now to literally do the least you possibly can to be involved. I guess you could share some Mandalorian memes. I don't know how it's going to be helpful, because as a fictitious character from a fictitious universe that took place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, not really relevant. What I'm looking for is relevant discourse. So I'm just putting this out to people who bothered to follow me on YouTube, and I'm sure I'm going to get some unfollows because of this, and maybe you should take a little time and do some self-reflection on if this video is getting under your skin. Because I'm not really coming at you. I'm just saying, hey, like, it literally costs you nothing other than a small investment in time to be more involved in the process. I'm not asking you to take money out of your wallet and fly to whatever state is having an anti-gun or a pro-gun rally. I'm just asking you to be more involved and stop being so pessimistic about the process, because right now the process is all we have. Otherwise, all you're doing is waiting for some sort of violent incursion to occur to where you can finally show your friends that you really did need that Hawaiian-themed plate carrier and night vision. Let's try to avoid that. I would much rather spend the rest of my life practicing for a fight that doesn't come and training for a fight that doesn't come than sitting by and doing nothing to prevent it. So let's do our part as gun owners to be more involved. And you may completely roll your eyes and dismiss this video, but I feel like I've got a large enough audience between all the social media platforms and all the students I teach to kind of put that out there. Like, you can't just wait for the worst case scenario. Our job as gun owners should be trying to prevent the worst case scenario. And then if the worst case scenario happens through no fault of our own, we have a little bit of a moral and ethical high ground in that situation, which will be very beneficial in the long run. I'm Eric Count with Sage Dynamics. Get involved.